Hey y'all, welcome to Crime Mentality. This is your girl Key back with a whole nother message. Today we are talking about focusing through loneliness, not becoming the fixer. Because us as women, we fall into this role sometimes of becoming a fixer, feeling like we need to fix a man. And it comes out our need, it comes out of loneliness and our need to want to be needed so bad. And the need to want to be needed is codependency. So our codependency wants to find somebody that needs help when we need to be putting that focus on ourselves. So our daddy wants to be affirmed by a man anyway. So it's going to naturally look to want to help a man, which this is a distraction Satan uses, because in the biblical scriptures, God didn't call us to fix any man. So if a person comes to you and they are totally broken, that is not your gift. That is not a gift from God, because God don't give broken gifts. God don't give broken gifts. The enemy, he did. That's what he wants to do, is distract us and steal time from our lives and our destiny. He wants your focus. So he will send a man as a distraction for you to fix him, for you to put all your attention on focusing and fixing him and showing him how much you are worth, and the need to prove yourself to him. We fall in this role trying to fix him, need yourself to approve by him. So when you aren't being approved by this man, it breaks you, because it goes back to our daddy wound. We want to be affirmed by a man because our daddy didn't affirm us. But this is where the narcissist comes from. The narcissistic personalities come from, because when God tells you an instruction, he tells you an instruction is to help you. It's whatever prayer that you pray. He gives you a small instruction as a seed form, and he wants to see what you're going to do with that seed. And it may be something that you don't want to do, or it might be difficult for you to do, but it's the pathway to the place where you pray for it. It's for the things that you pray for. It's the pathway to it. And okay, so when it becomes like difficult for you to do, maybe it's some hurtful, painful things that you have to go through for you to be able to create what God is telling you to create. So when you don't want to do what he tells you to do, then we start subconsciously looking for distractions, looking for other things to put our time on, looking for other projects instead of what God told us to focus on, because we feel like that's too hard, or we'll get stuck in our head of self-doubt and start overthinking things and start, really creating more insecurity in ourselves, thinking that we can't do it. But you feel more comfortable to fix somebody else than deal with your own issues. So when you don't want to do what he tells you to do, we look for distractions to get our mind off it. And that may be smoking, that may be drinking, that may be sex, that may be relationships. A distraction can come in any form. So in 1 Peter 5:8, it says, "Be alert and of sober mind, because the devil, the enemy, he walks around like a prying lion, like a roaring lion, seeking to who he may devour." So we got to resist him and stand firm in the faith, because the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of suffering that you're going through. So basically, this is when our decisions become a disruptive distraction to us. Our decisions become destructive. We get off the ordered steps that he laid out for us, and that's when the enemy has access. He has access through our disobedience. So narcissism is born out of disobedience. Disobedience is pretty much pride, saying, I can do this by myself. God, I don't need you. I'm going to do it my way. I don't like the way you just told me to do it, so I'm going to go do it my way. So that's where narcissism is born. So as you are... disobedience is not a safe place. Like, that's where the enemy has access to you. So when we go looking for people in these different distractions, we end up really finding another person that's distracted. we find another person that's distracted off of their purpose, and that's where the toxic relationship comes from. Two people who have been distracted from their purpose and just blatantly say they're not going to do what God told them to do. And anything that we have, we take God out of the midst, is destined for trouble. It's destined for damnation. Like it's really destined for heartache and so many other negative things that come with it, that end up falling on our children because we're emotionally absent, because we're putting all our emotions into this person that need these type of emotions, that need this mother affirmation that he didn't get his mom. So we end up putting all of our pouring our strength into this person, when our strength really needs to be on us, focusing on the goals that he has for us, the purpose that he has for us and our kids. So this is what causes emotionally absent kids. And because they are crying for that attention. They're crying for that attention from their mom, but their mama giving it to a man. And it may not necessarily be the man that's supposed to be in her life, because like I said, God don't send you any broken gifts. But our need to want a man so bad, our need to want these things so bad, creates this blindness to the person's flaws, to this other person's flaws. And it's called obsessive love disorder. And obsessive love disorder, it blocks your visual field of really seeing what this person is really doing. Like, this person really is not really on your level at all, but they become more compatible to us through infatuation, because we become infatuated. So infatuation is where dopamine is released into the brain, so it rewards us, so it's like a natural high. So we get like a natural high with this person. But the reason you're getting this natural high is it's a euphoria. It's a demonic euphoria that you're getting from this person. It's distraction. Pretty much that's what the enemy uses. As it's like you're in a trance. It's like your mind is just so focused on this person. Like, you just go into tunnel vision because you want love so bad, because you want to feel affirmed, you want to be accepted. And that is why the scripture says, be alert and be of sober mind. You have to stay in a sober mind. If you stay on your purpose, if you stay on the will of God that he has for you, you're going to keep a sober mind, and you're going to be able to see the devil as he coming. You're going to be able to see everything that he's doing. You're going to be able to see it. Okay, like I said, the enemy will send a person or a narcissistic person, someone else that is being disobedient, and we form these codependent relationships, and then we add sex with it in the picture, and then we create the soul tie. Then we intentionally create the strongholds that we're now trying to get out of. And this creates a victim mentality. So then when we get into victim mentality, the toxic relationship begins to dissolve, and this is where the kids are affected by our decisions. The different spirits can reach them because of the parents are out of place. If the parents are out of place, that is where the kids are being affected, because the parent is not on their purpose journey. 1 Samuel 15:22 says, but Samuel replied, does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as in obeying the Lord? To obey is better than a sacrifice. To take heed is better than the fat of rams. For rebellion is like the sin of divination. Okay, so if you're being rebellious, that is where the spirit of pride comes from. And that the demonic euphoria that I was talking about, where it just have you like you're just drunk out of love, that is where the sin of divination is coming from, where the arrogance is coming from. It's divination and arrogance, like the evil of idolatry. That is where all of that is coming from, because it is any type of manipulation is witchcraft. That's what divination means. So basically, a narcissist, their mind is governed by their flesh. Their mind is governed by what they want to do, because if they were governed by the spirit, they would be doing what God told them to do. So a mind that's governed by the flesh cannot submit to God's will. You have to be transformed and renewed by the Lord's Spirit. Okay, but this is where like the rapes and the sexual assaults and different things end up getting to our kids, because as parents we're out of place. If you were in your place, your rightful place, a lot of these things wouldn't happen. And God is telling us these things as, you know, as a warning that, you know, such things exist and we don't know they exist. And a lot of stuff that we got exposed to were because our parents were out of place. But when you come to the knowledge, when you know better, you do better. So when you come to the knowledge of learning everything I just told you, you know, being aware, because that is what this video is for, to make you aware. So when you're aware, you have the knowledge you need to do better. Get back in the will of God. All you got to do is turn your face back to the directions that God told you. He told you something to do. He told you, he gave you some instructions to do that's going to release the healing that you need. But you got to be obedient. Obedience is better than sacrifice. He don't care if you fasting or none of that. Yes, it is right. You're supposed to fast, but if you're fasting and you're not being obedient to what God's telling you to do, you're opening your spirit up to more deceptive spirits. That is what religion is. When people fast, but they're not being obedient to what God told them to do. That is where the enemy comes in, and he comes in like a flood. But okay, that is all I have for today. I thank y'all for listening. Y'all be blessed. Be blessed. Be blessed. Oh yeah, I have a if you want to get saved, I will put a scripture at the bottom of the description of this video, and all you do is say it out loud. If you say it out loud, wherever you are, say it out loud and invite Jesus Christ into your heart. You will be saved. When you will be saved, and you will turn your attention to what God has for you to do. Nobody can steal your purpose. You ain't waste too much time. God got you. Have a blessed day.